Hi, everybody. Welcome to Numerology with Lori. Please like, subscribe, and hype if you can. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. So I'm sorry it's been so long since I've uploaded a video. I will say that the one thing that's been happening in my life is that I've been spending a lot of time healing. Um, that's pretty much all that I have about that, but I would appreciate any good vibes that you guys can send. So thank you very much. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about master numbers. So the last time that I uploaded a video, it was a reference video, and this it was about the structure of the numbers in numerology, 1 through 9. You can use that reference anytime you want to go back to it and check out the life path number that you've calculated or that's been calculated for you. Or you can look up this particular video, which is going to be about master numbers. So let's get right to it. So master numbers indicate some spiritual gifts. They are highly intuitive and they can provide higher guidance and even get you in touch with, indicate that you could be in touch with a spiritual guide or celestial being of some sort. That's pretty interesting. So, the truth of the master number is to live up to spiritual mastery in order to feel the nature of the double digit number. If not, you're likely to approach the number as a lower vibration, which is also fine. So let's say you have a master number 11 as your life path, or your birth date, or one of the five core numbers. Um, you can either work it at an 11 or you can work it at a 2. So that's one of the indicators here. So let's get right into the master numbers. The first one is 11, and 11 adds 1 to 1 equals 2. So it either is worked as an 11 as a master number or 2 as the lower vibration. So the master number stands for spiritual inspiration, for spiritual idealism, visionary information, a leader with spiritual consciousness, a reformer who wants to uplift things globally. That's really pretty deep, if you ask me. Sometimes that 11 is just a little bit too much. It's a little too difficult to work with. So let's talk about the 2. The 2 works as harmony and unity in your relationships. So that's it. Let's think of the 2 as two different people, as a 1 and a 1, and it creates like a vibration of relationship or with another person. It doesn't necessarily mean a love relationship, but it's a relationship of some type. So it could be with a friend, it could be a coworker, anything like that. So that's the master number 11 and the 2 energy. There's also the master number 22, which if you add 2 plus 2 together, you get 4. So the master number is either working it at a 22 or working it as the lower vibration of the number 4. So the spiritual master builder is the 22. Also a visionary, plans and executes large projects and can bring spiritual principles into the material world. Uh, they're terrific manifestors, which to me tells me that they're very in touch with their creative side, the creator, which allows them, spiritual creator, which allows them to manifest into this world that we live in, the 3D world. So that's pretty fascinating. Now, if they're working it as a 4 and not the 22, it would be about being a builder, about being a former, like somebody who forms things. They would also be hard workers and they would be kind of serious people. And I hate to use the words a square, but that's more what their thinking is, more square than it is circular thinking. So that's the 22-4. The 33-6, the 33 is the master number that's included with this, and then the 6 would be the lower vibration. The spiritual teacher of teachers is what the 33 is about, which is pretty fascinating, really. Um, they are masters of compassion, masters of healing with love. And I find all of this to be, again, it's a very deep thinking way of being, if you will. So if they work this as a six, this would be about being nurturers, being service oriented, being responsible people, um, duty driving family ideas and marriage or divorce. So those are all, if you go back to that 1 through 9 video, it'll tell you a little bit about the six as well. So the next master number I'm going to move on to is the 44, but I do have one caveat with all the rest of the master numbers. So this goes through 44 through 99. We don't see these numbers as often as we think we would. But I will say that in the next millennia, which is really now, um, we're going to start seeing more and more. I will say that I've seen 44s. I've also seen 155. So they're becoming more frequent in this um, vibration, if you will. So, okay, so let's talk about 44s. So the 44 is a master of material and spiritual power. They organize time and talents, and material abundance is part of the 44. So if they're working this as an eight, which is entirely possible, they would be talking more about power, about abundance. Again, abundance is also included with the 44, but it's more material abundance. So this, I don't know how the abundance could be in any way, shape, or form with the eight. It might be material abundance. It could be an abundance of spirituality, that kind of thing. So they also are the number eight is also indicative of good finances and business acumen. So that's good to know. The next master number is a 55. So the 5 plus 5 equals 10, and the 1 plus 0 equals 1. So it's either a 55 or a 1. That's the master number. So the master number 55 is a master of new thought forms. These people are nonconformists. They're the spiritual insights that come from new patterns of thought are phenomenal. Their mental activities and healing are terrific with telepathy, clairvoyance, and prophecy. If they work this as a one, they're talking about ideas, new beginnings, leadership, independence. All of that is includes what the one is about. It's very important. It's a very important master number. Now, the next master number I have not seen. Again, it doesn't mean that it won't be seen, but that is the 66. If you add 6 plus 6, you get 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So it's either the 66 or the 3. So 66 is a master of cosmic love. That's really amazing. Their personal transformation through suffering and sacrifice, sharing love and wisdom globally. If they work this as a 3, it's a similar energy, but again, it's a lower vibration, which is sometimes easier to handle. So the lower vibration of the 3 is about joy of living, it's about communication, and it's about creative energy, which I also think is really important to have. So the next master number is a 77. So the 7 plus 7 equals 14, and the 1 plus 4 equals 5. So it's either a 77 master number or a 5 lower vibration. So the 77 is a master of spiritual energies, achieve enlightenment and inner wisdom. Wow. Cosmic love, which we already talked about in the 66, through personal experience. Spiritualize this response is actually, I'm going to say it twice. Spiritualize the material and materialize the spiritual. Let me say that again. Spiritualize the material and materialize the spiritual. Pretty deep. For all people, that's really amazing. So, if they work this in a five, which the 77 sounds pretty intense. So, it's very possible that a person with a 77 life path might decide to work this as a five. It talks about change, it's about freedom, it's about adventure, it's about versatility. So that's the five energy or the 77 energy, which is the master number. So the next master number we're going to talk about is the 88. So 8 plus 8 equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. So they're either working the 88 energy of the master number or they're working the 7 energy, which is slightly different. So the master energy is about the master of material reform. That's interesting. New awakenings align the use of power and authority with spiritual universe to link material, I'm so sorry, to link the material world with spiritual laws. Okay, so let's repeat that. Aligns the use of power and authority with spiritual universe to link material world with spiritual laws. I hope that makes some sense. It was difficult to write out and to try to make some sense of what was being said there. If they are working this as a seven, which again, being the master number 88, they may want to work this as a seven. This is about analyzing spirituality, wisdom, research, mysteries. So it's not far off from what that 88 was about, but it is slightly different. So it makes perfect sense to me. Now, the 99 is an interesting master number. I'm looking forward to when people have this master number. So 9 plus 9 equals 18. 8 plus 1 equals 9. So they're either working the 99 master number or they're working a 9 lower form of the energy. So, or a lower vibration. 99 is about master of compassion and love. It's a powerful vibration. It transforms the great avatar energy of the past to endure crucifixion of self. Wow. That again is a really, really deep concept, in my opinion. They assume great burdens for humanity, self sacrificing. So I know this isn't quite the same, but it does remind me a little bit of the Christ energy. Jesus was part of the Christ energy. Buddha is supposedly part of the Christ energy. Muhammad is apparently part of the Christ energy. So all of this talks about, to me, that sacrificing self, that to me is Christ energy. It could be. It could be. It's a thought. It's a thought. It's something to think about. Purity of mind and body give pure love universally. And that's what they do. They give pure love universally. Any of us that grew up with Jesus in our past, Jesus part of our future, I should say, that's what Jesus was about, was pure love. So, and universally. I don't know. It's a thought process. So if they're working this as a nine, they would have humanitarian ideals. They would be very popular and good about endings. They would have vision, they would have tolerance, they would have transformation, and be a part of a spiritual consciousness. So remember, when a master number comes, it could be too difficult to operate at that level. So it makes perfect sense that the base number would be used. Master energy can be hard. It's not a failing to use a base number. It's a way of surviving and living your life path. So thank you very much, and I hope that the master number video is good for you. Thank you.